So today we're going to be looking at the top ranked plug and play tactics from FM Arena this year. What player roles are they using? What team instructions are they using? What player instructions are they using? We're going to find out in this video, and what exactly makes most of these tactics overpowered. So the first tactic that we're looking at here is the Moo Grub tactic with fullbacks no TMR. So looking at what that actually means, the fullbacks here have four instructions. Both of them are set to fullbacks on attack duty, but I do like the shape. It sort of has this asymmetrical tactic system to it. The fullbacks, both on attack duty, they've been asked to cross from the byline, cut inside with the ball, stay wider, and tackle harder. That's interesting. Their goalkeeper is a super keeper on defend, by the way, and he has been asked to tackle harder. They have two ball playing defenders. Both of them have the dribble more and tackle harder instruction. That's kind of overpowered this year. I noticed it. And ahead of them, there's a defensive midfielder on support duty playing on the right. He's only going to be tackling harder. And one of my favorite roles this year is ahead of that, and he's a central midfielder on support duty playing on the left side. He will take more risks, dribble more, get further forward, move into channels, and tackle harder. I do like this shape. I like also the fact that the inside forwards have different duties. One is on support and one is on attack duty. This is their player instructions. They're also holding up the ball, by the way, but the inside forward on the left hand side has slightly different instructions. On the right, he's going to hold up the ball, run from position, sit narrower, tackle harder, mark tighter, and not mark tighter, but mark a specific position, which likely to me is going to be the left back on that side. So if you look at the inside forward on the left hand side, he's going to mark a specific position, which is the right back on the other team, and then he's only going to sit narrower and tackle harder. The pressing forward in this system is on support duty. He's only going to move into channels, and then you have an advanced forward just tackling harder. Attacking mentality goes for this one, and he has a tactical style of dynasties. I kind of like that. But looking at their team instructions, they are playing very narrow with a shorter passing and very high tempo. They're also exploiting both flanks and running at the defense. Very OP, to be honest. In transition, the team is going to counter press, counter, and distribute the ball quickly from the goalkeeper. He's also rolling it out. And what they've got set up here is a high press with a much higher defensive line. Looking at the trigger press, of course, all the way to the top. Preventing the short goalkeeper distribution, getting stuck in, stepping up more, and also inviting crosses. The next system we're going to look at here is actually a 4-2-3-1 system, and it looks very similar to the Miracle 1 tactic, but this one is called the God of Chaos version 1. Now, both fullbacks are still on attack duty, and they have very similar instructions to the last tactic that we saw. The fullbacks on attack duty are taking more risks, crossing from the byline, cutting inside with the ball, staying wider, and tackling harder. The goalkeeper is still tackling harder, and of course the ball playing defenders are dribbling more and tackling harder. So essentially the same back four that we saw in the previous tactic, but this time they have two defensive midfielders on support duty. These two guys are going to take more risk and tackle harder. So ahead of them, you have an attacking midfielder playing on attack duty. He's going to move into channels, hold up the ball, take more risk, and tackle harder. Beside him, inside forwards on support duty, they're sitting narrow, tackling harder, and of course marking that specific position. You can see that if we check that, it is the right back on the other team, and on the right inside forward here is the left back on the other team. Advanced forward, just two instructions: take more risk and tackle harder. Team instructions, mentality is set to attacking, but if you look at the team's in possession instructions, they have the same team instructions: sitting narrower, playing shorter passing and higher tempo, and they're also exploiting both flanks. The in transition instructions are similar to the previous tactic that we saw: distributing it quickly, rolling it out from the goalkeeper, and of course counter and counter press. Same instructions for the out of possession: much higher defensive line, high press, much more often trigger press. They're getting stuck in, stepping up more, and also inviting crosses. In at number 3, we have the Jin 25442 LP. Now this actually has two DMs with Segundo Volante on attack instruction set for the two of them. But instead of the inside forwards, we have wingers on support duty this time, and instead of fullbacks on attack, we have fullbacks on support. So they have slightly different instructions this time. I do like the fact that it's a 4-4-2. The fullback is on support. He's taking more risks, crossing more often, crossing from the byline, cutting inside with the ball. That is to take advantage of the space left by the Segundo Volante. He's also going to get further forward and stay wider and tackle harder as well. So the starting position is going to stay wider, but when he's in possession, he's going to cut inside with the ball. Same instructions for the left back and the right back. Ball playing defenders, again, dribbling more and tackling harder. Goalkeeper tackling harder. He's staying as a super keeper on defend, by the way. Now for the wingers, since we don't have inside forwards this time, this is what the wingers have been asked to do. They have the same instructions, by the way: taking more risks, crossing from the byline, running wide with the ball, running from positions, closing down more, tackling harder, and marking that specific position, which is obviously the fullback on that side. So the left winger is going to be marking the right back, and then the right winger is going to be marking the left back. In attack, we have you pressing forward on support, moving into the channels, and advance forward, tackling harder. So team instructions, it looks pretty much the same. Shorter passing with very high tempo. They're also exploiting both flanks. This time I see low crosses. I don't know if I noticed it in the previous tactics. Looking at it in transition, this is the holy grail: counter press, distributing the ball quickly and rolling it out. So this is basically the meta on Football Manager. So if you're taking down notes, you probably have a deeper knowledge of how to create a meta tactic now on Football Manager. Out of possession is the similar thing: high press, much higher defensive line. They're also playing much more often trigger press, stepping up more, getting stuck in, and of course inviting crosses. Now I'm not quite sure how this is going to work in the lower league, so it's worth checking out these tactics. If you're playing with the lower league team, just try them out and see how the tactic actually makes your team behave. Try it out and let me know how it actually works out, because it seems like most of the instructions might struggle if you go to play in the lower leagues. In at number 2, we have a fan favorite, which is the Gaps version 4, but this is revenge mode. It's different from the Gaps version 4 that you probably already know. So this one has inverted wing backs on support duty and one fullback on attack. So we're finally seeing a difference in shape. The inverted wing back on support is going to take advantage of the segundo volante on that side, and of course the fullback on attack duty is free to venture far forward because the defensive midfielder here is on support. Fullback on attack is going to take more risk, cross on the byline, cut inside with the ball, stay wider and tackle harder, while the inverted wing back on support duty is only going to take more risk and tackle harder. In the goalkeeper position, we have just to tackle harder as before, ball playing defenders doing the same thing, dribbling more and tackling harder. Now we see the mixture of the winger and the inside forward in this tactic, also with the pressing forward and the advance forward on attack. We have a winger on support duty on the left side, taking more risk, crossing from the byline, cutting inside with the ball, getting further forward, close down more and tackle harder. Of course, marking the right back of the other team, and of course the inside forward on attack duty on the right hand side, he's going to be marking the left back of the other team. So he's going to hold up the ball, roam from position, sit narrower, close down more, tackle harder. Now without even clicking the buttons, I'm going to guess that the pressing forward on support duty is going to move into channels while the advance forward is going to tackle harder. So let me just go ahead and click that and check. Move into channels, tackle harder. So that's the meta in Football Manager, just so you know. Should I bother going to the team instructions for this tactic? Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. So this is the number 1 and what I would like to call the holy grail of all meta tactics. This, by the way, if you're just new to the channel, remember to hit the subscribe button so you can get notified in case this meta actually goes on to change in the future. I will go on to share more Football Manager tactics with you like this. So we have here the EF424 inside forward HP version 2. So this has fullbacks on attack duty, ball playing defenders on defend, and the super keeper on defend. So we're going to play a little game for this one. Let's see if you can guess the player instructions and team instructions for this tactic. We'll start with the super keeper, then on defend, and then looking at the fullbacks on attack duty. We can now look at the ball playing defenders on defend duty, the defensive midfielders here. Okay, I see that both defensive midfielders are actually holding position. That is something I didn't see in the previous tactic, so 1 point for me there. I also noticed that the inside forwards have slightly different duties, but okay. They're also going to be marking specific position, which is the... okay, I'm not going to say it. Very similar instructions. And of course the pressing forward and the advance forward. So looking at the team instructions, it's pretty much the same from previous tactic. There is no difference. That is basically the meta in Football Manager. So at this point you should be able to build your own meta tactic and just mix up any roles that you want in combinations with what you've already seen here, and subscribe to the channel for more Football Manager tactic videos like this. Stay notified. I'll see you soon.